overly safe. Like, as long as Raven just gets hit by the Winter's Bite, immediately just Arcane Shift away. And during that time, that is where Wild Ball just jumps right in, Nimbus Strike, Flash, and then a Cyclone. That is going to help Impunity to close up the gap with some Glacial Fissure, or perhaps even some Chain of Corruption to ensure an easy kill right under the turret's nose. It's just theory crafting, but I do see that as a reality.
CWJ, look at that damage though. It's not right clicks, but the auto attacks from Court d'Ivoire is pretty painful. But see that after he just backs away, Court d'Ivoire should be able to heal as the regenerative passive of Garen allows him to keep topped off and stay in the lane. But as long as CWJ has mana, it's still gonna be a very difficult time in that matchup in that solo lane. Swirled and the rest of Alliance, they really love to go for this dual lane in the mid where they keep Swirled in actually a really bad spot. And the immediate jungle invade from Alliance is so prevalent that Impunity, they have to answer back, but can they really, as SSK, Shin Sakai has shown to be a very capable Graves here, and losing, not hitting that concussive blow, just hinders their initiate even more.
Quite a lot of emphasis down onto Impunity's jungle. They're just trying to snap the Rambo back for themselves. But I'm not too sure how this is gonna be like, because Impunity has invested in a lot of manpower down south. And once Alliance realizes that, hey, Garen's is here, so let us just waste the time and split up again. And that is exactly what they did, right? So I'm not too sure how big of a change is that gonna be, because that's like 10 seconds of Garen's time, and that 10 seconds is probably more than enough for CWJ to get one level up ahead of this Garen.
Yeah, it's gonna be very difficult for Court d'Ivoire here in this matchup. I really think he was expecting the Jax to come out, and then CWJ just taking the rug underneath his feet. Anyways, though, you can see Alliance really proactive with how they rotate, and Impunity, they're playing catch-up. You can see the rest of Wrath and the rest of Impunity are just going right at it, and I really love how they were able to utilize that ultimate, but still not going to work out in the end as CWJ comes in here. Court d'Ivoire, he just wants to go spin to win, but is the damage going to be enough? He does get the kill, the dive right back in from Wild Boar, and they stabilize the fight for the moment. CWJ is going to go in for the pinch, but he bit off more than he can chew, and once again he got mauled by Impunity as they go in. It's like you're going into the club and there's the bouncer being Impunity, get out of here, and they don't get out of that unscathed. They too take some damage, and there's one kill advantage for Impunity.
That's pretty sad for the side of Alliance. CWJ overextending himself, trying to get himself into the faces of both that Orianna as well as the Wukong, only for him to not be able to get any kill for himself, and even he himself had to go down. So a little bit unfortunate on that note, but Alliance can definitely come back in the game as long as they identify what is wrong and how else they can play this game. In the meantime, up here in the middle lane, we are going to be looking at Janna as well as Azrael just taking up in the mid lane, while Ziggs heads down to the bottom. So a little bit of a lane switch there. If they don't mind, we do have Court d'Ivoire just going to be chasing down the CWJ, and unfortunately for this Singed, he is now right behind of Court d'Ivoire. Court d'Ivoire putting himself in with quite an impact already.
Court d'Ivoire should be building a Spectre Skull, if I'm not mistaken, if he wants to survive that way. If we saw the items that he has, yeah, he's building up into Spectre Skull. It makes a lot of sense. And he's actually tanking enough. With his second ability, he should have enough armor to survive 80 damage for this early game. And I really do like how Court d'Ivoire is able to adjust his itemization just to kind of cater the 1v1, because sometimes as a solo laner, you'll still pick up whatever you need to get, quote-unquote, just to you know, be impactful in the team fight, but sometimes you just have to be impactful in the lane. Speaking of lane, though, that's going to be a quick little dive from Alliance. Well, and Impunity's top laner or solo laner will get obliterated. Impunity, how will they strike back? They're setting their sights on this mid, and wow, there it is once again. The quick wave clears. They can't push this too quickly because turret projection, and they got to be careful because Swirled could be dove upon by Raven if he's not careful.
Nothing like a classic Ziggs snipe onto the well, creep waves. The Super Mega Inferno Bomb is that versatile. You can do anything you want with it, and most of the time it's just nuking out creeps. And that is going to allow Alliance not put any man in this in the middle lane and still have a decent amount of control over that. Because, well, as long as Ziggs is somewhere around the jungle just moving on about, the ultimate is more than enough to just clear the wave and ensure that Impunity have no way to continue pushing. But speaking of pushing, it does seem that Alliance is putting quite a lot of emphasis on this God of War after they realize that he is putting quite an impact. In fact, putting 4 people down to the bottom lane just to handle this Garen. The amount of respect that Alliance is putting out there is baffling. And in the meantime, Impunity up in the top lane, they're doing the exact same thing onto this Ziggs, not allowing him to farm and bring down the turret up top, while Alliance still haven't gotten the turret as Orianna tries to step in to stop them. No!
That Monsoon is... Oh, he actually TP! Court of Wow! Oh my goodness! He's gonna get flung back into the rest of Alliance! That was already a good trade for, I mean, both teams, but he kind of tipped into the favor of Alliance there. Court of Wow diving too deep, and it seems like it's not the... that's gonna be the trend for today. Wrath is very, very low, but at least his shield will keep him afloat. Impunity, they know that the rest of Alliance is here on the other side in the red side jungle, so they make quick work, get that Rift Herald, give it to the Varus, and stabilize. But Court of War deep diving like that, I'm not sure what he wanted to happen. Maybe he just wanted to open the Rift Herald up for his team, but even then, losing in life and giving that to Alliance, I don't think was a very, very good decision.
And all we have here, we are looking at 6 minutes into the game, and the goal lead is not that big at all. Alliance is only looking at like 2,000 goal lead, and the sad thing for them is that Impunity does have the Inferno Drake, so they do have to watch out for that. The next upcoming Drake, I can't exactly see. Okay, so it does seem like it is going to be the Ocean Drake from that on that one. So I'm really looking forward to see how that is going to work out for Alliance. Are they going to be contesting for the Drake or not? I think they do. I mean, they should.
I mean, they can. They should be able to do so. Look at that. Ezreal already racking up to his Trinity Force. He's really stacked up. Look at how much gold he has. Impunity on the hand, Varus is also pretty hefty with the gold. So I think Impunity here have been able to keep up in terms of that economy. Really good damage here. Can he even pop the Guardian Angel? Not even! How does he do this? Ultimate activated the burn on Leandri's Wrath. Oh, he gobbles up the Wild Fruit just in time. Or actually, not even just in time, but he was left with a sliver. Not gonna connect. That's not gonna hit him. He has enough HP. Yeah, there you go. But 20 seconds on that dragon.
The Ocean Dragon is coming up soon. I just realized, I probably said Cloud Drake just now. The Ocean Drake is gonna be coming up soon, and that will be in 10 seconds. Alliance will be regrouping right up top of the Drake, ready to just bring down the World of Pain onto anyone that tries to contest this. And Impunity, well, they do have Braum, so they can kind of do something about this, but the regroup potential coming from Impunity is definitely all the way down low because of the fact that Orianna, and especially for this Garen, is still gonna be taking some time. So Impunity, they need to do something about this and try to work with the Shockwave, but unfortunately, the Garen just managed to come in the nick of time. Singed goes down first, and that is going to be Azrael down for the count too. It's going to be 5 versus 3 at this point of time. Shinsekai tries to get himself out of that. The GA is going to be popped, reviving in the hearts of Impunity's heart, and there's just no way that Alliance can even get themselves back in this game. Trying to go for the snipe onto the Wrath with the Super Mega Inferno Bomb, but that is not going to happen. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the Ocean Drake is now given away to Impunity, and not to forget, the 2 best Drakes taken by Impunity.
That was a great play from Impunity there. CWJ just diving too hard. There's not really much follow-up Alliance can do if he just, you know, charges right into the backline and flings one in, and I don't think he's tanky enough to survive compared to, you know, a typical maybe Alistar or Malphite. Singe doesn't play along those lines. If he doesn't have his items, he's not innately tanky, even if he can maybe mitigate some damage with his ultimate. In any case, though, really good punish from Impunity. That's what they need to get jump-started in the second game, and they're starting to build up a pretty massive lead, as you can see in terms of the items. Still no Trinity Force for Raven, but on Varus, Runan's Hurricane, and a Blade of the Ruin King. And this is great because CWJ, as a Singe that builds heavy on HP, he will get shredded by this, and there's no effective frontline now for Alliance, and this comp that they want, which is all about that poke, can get mitigated just by Wrath whipping out his shield.
And just like that, the Baron is now going to be contested by the side of Impunity. It's definitely going to take some time before Alliance comes in with the regroup. I don't think that this is going to be the case. The Howling Gale just going to be sending 2% flying right up to the sky. But unfortunately, Wukong is going to be the one that brings down the Baron. The Cyclone picks up. He gets the kill on the Janna. But how about Raven with a sliver of health? Tries to get himself away. Coming in from the Barons. But he goes down first. With the rest of the team from Impunity falling right back after the claiming of the objective. Because that's all they need. All they need is to bring down the Baron and then head right back off, because there really isn't any need for them to contest against Alliance. They just need to bring down the Baron, recall, and then regroup in the faces of Alliance.
It's great because even if they get Scarlet Petal down, there's still 4 other members of Impunity that can effectively use the Baron buff all around the map, all around these lanes, and start pushing them to the favor of Impunity, giving even more advantage for this game 2 of theirs. Now CWJ is gonna get maybe whacked by Wild Boar, but still gotta be careful that Poison is starting to slightly stack up Leander's Torment and Wild Eyes Crystal Scepter, but up slow, and extra burn is here. If Alliance can survive a slight bit more and CWJ can set things up with his Poison, that's going to be really good for Alliance. But for the moment, Impunity have just shown to be such a resilient team. And look at that, they're even working their magic all across the board with Coeur d'Ivoire on the solo lane, just whacking, wailing on the turret by himself.
It's currently 9-6, 12 minutes in. Impunity needs to get this turret down. They need to try to bring Alliance to with their back against the wall. No matter what they do, they gotta have to try to end this game fast, because Alliance probably scales a lot better than Impunity. Because we're looking at Azrael, we are also looking at Graves, the late game machine. But unfortunately, Impunity has went for a trade for a it's not unfortunate actually, it's a Braum trade for a second tier turret in the middle lane trade. So ultimately, it is still pretty darn good for the side of Impunity. And with the current amount of goal lead from Impunity, they can force out fights. They can try to go for a little bit more push, maybe after claiming this upcoming Drake.
If you think about it as well, even if this Edriel does get into a perspective where he's threatening, his Mystic shots for a certain period of time will also be blocked by the Braum from Impunity. That would just really hurt Raven's case. Although they do find one. Oh, that is such a big intro. Cryo has been crucial in just allowing Alliance to actually set up these fights. Big flank coming in from Coeur d'Ivoire, spots out Shin Sakai, but with Guardian Angel being available for Shin Sakai, Coeur d'Ivoire has set aside somewhere else. Although he's burning to the end, his Torment is getting slowed by the Ryle Eyes as well, and everybody just wailing on Coeur d'Ivoire. And Impunity, they miss position, and Alliance take the opportunity, take the advantage to get that one up on them, and they made the great mistake. Impunity made the great mistake of thinking that Alliance won't be ballsy enough to challenge, and now there's not enough time. They can actually go for the Nexus if they wanted to.
But it does seem like Alliance is not gonna be rushing right for the Nexus. They are more than happy to bring down the middle inhibitor turret and then backing off. But you know what the sad thing is? Impunity, they don't have much vision around the map. They are literally playing with one eye closed, almost blindfolded, and the rest of Impunity is going to be running their way right in front of the Drake. They're not gonna care at all. And in fact, they don't have that kind of sights. They don't have the kind of understanding as to where Alliance is. Yet they're just rushing right out to get the Cloud Drake, and I'm genuinely surprised.
They are gonna just try to charge right at it. I mean, Impunity, they can get all the dragons that they want. It's really good for them, but if Swirl gets out positioned like this, yeah, he doesn't have a flash out as well. He just wanted to get some vision off, and Alliance was there to pull the trigger. They weren't even in position, and the Mega Inferno Bomb is going to soften them up, especially with the Leandries active and well. Wild Boar has been prompted to use his ultimate, and in the end, this is where Alliance just shows off their pack. This is where it becomes quite crucial for them. The set adjustments of Alliance and the rest of them still just fighting, they're not even done just yet, and Raven is going at it. Wild Boar, though, he's gonna just sacrifice his life as well as Rich, but still does not stop them from getting that Baron, as Shinsekai, being a Graves that he is, makes quick work of it.
I don't know about this. In the end, it's going to be 4 versus 3. If Impunity just regroups fast enough, they can kind of force something out of here. Like, I don't know, and just kind of push in with that 18 seconds that they have left, but they decided to regroup.
They don't have Scarlet, though.
Yeah, it's gonna take quite some time before they are able to do much at this point of time. But Alliance kicking Impunity's shin, it's gonna be kind of painful right now, especially since Impunity initially they had the advantage, right? They had an advantage whereby Impunity they can basically send the Garen in to spin to win. But now at this point in time, it is Alliance's turn for the Singe to walk to win.
Man, I'm just looking at the items here for Wukong and Garen for Court of War and Wild Boar. They don't really have that many damage items. Like for Court of War, he hasn't even built a Black Cleaver or something to make his spin to win threatening to anyone he sticks to. He's built up Sunfire Cape, not Rune Cape, but I forgot the name again. The Adaptive Helm, as well as the Randuin's Omen. There we go. So this is a lot more of tanking, so he can absorb damage. But the thing about that, though, is this itemization that he has gets incredibly brutalizingly punished by Leandries and Blade Ruin King, which Alliance has in spades. And look at that, he can't even do much. Big team fight right here. Cyclone will be used by Wild Boar, but Cryo and Raven stopping the rest of Impunity from coming right in. And even if Rich was dove upon by Wild Boar, while even he was low, the more important members of Alliance, which was Cryo and Raven at the time, not getting really punished whatsoever because they just don't want to go through the pain, the landmines that is the skill shots of these two damage dealers.
Well, everything is happening in the bottom side of the lane. Graves were going downtown at the top. He did manage to deal with the Garen at that. So all of the inhibitor turret is now pretty much gone. Raph brings up his Unbreakable and ensures that he is absorbing all forms of damage. With 4 versus 5 and make that 5 versus 4 now. 4 versus 5, sorry. Garen is still on a respawn timer of 15 seconds and the Alliance is trying to push out for this. And here we have Azro just melting the people down. Scarlet Petal almost going straight down and trying to go for the ultimate. But unfortunately, while they were too fixated onto the Azro, as so was I, the rest of the team from Alliance manages to close out the game, hammering down on the Nexus and give themselves with a 2 wins in a row.
Impunity, they had that in the bag, and then slight misposition from Swirl twice has led to Alliance mounting a incredible comeback where I felt like Impunity just did not have enough to get it back on. Scarlet Petal, he looked stacked. Like, look at his items. He's 4 items already. Blade the King, Ruden's Hurricane, Infinity Edge, and Bloodthirster. Gives him so much damage, but then